for 47 points last night. Is Ja the best young star these playoffs have to offer? Because it certainly looks that way. Jordan Love. Jordan's a lonely man at Packers OTAs. But wait till you hear who's comparing Jordan Love to one Patrick Mahomes. And another celebrity golf match is set. This one's gonna be so good. Did Tom Brady go too far this time with his trash talk? And with that, we say good Thursday morning, everyone. This is First Things First. Got a great show for you today. Jenna Wolf, Nick, Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds. Brandon, you played against Tom. Does he trash talk on the field the way we're hearing him do it off the field?
No. So I love it because we've never heard Tom talk like this other than Richard Sherman, that Richard Sherman moment, but he just goes out there and throws the football.
Because he don't got a ghostwriter on the field with him. He don't have somebody on his payroll doing it for him.
Right.
We'll get to talking Tom in a second. We have to start this morning about 20 blocks from where I am sitting right now, Madison Square Garden, where for the first time in 8 long years, the New York Knicks won a playoff game, took down Trae Young and the Hawks to even up that series at a game apiece. How about 26 points from Derrick Rose? How about 15,000 fans going bananas? 15 blocks. It's like a 10-minute walk. It's been a long time for this city.
Why didn't you go?
If you know, you know. So, Nick, you know what? We can discuss this in a commercial break. Nick, what was your biggest takeaway from last night's Knicks win? But let's talk about my logistics last night. I was going to go, and then I was like, no. Tell me about what your takeaway was from this game last night.
Well, the biggest takeaway is, had you gone, Jenna, you would have been stuck in a mass of humanity outside the Garden afterwards. But I have a feeling our true New York Knicks fan on the show, Kevin Wilds, is going to get into that, so I'm going to leave that for him. My basketball takeaway was Derrick Rose. This is the most minutes and the most points Derrick Rose has scored in a playoff game since Bulls-Cavs in 2015. He started the second half for the Knicks. It's what flipped the game. They were down 13 at halftime, and their offense looked impossibly bad because the Hawks have a wonderful plan for Julius Randle, who's had a really rough go his first 2 career playoff games, and Derrick Rose got them back in the game and got them back in the series. And it is such a great story, Wilds, because I remember in 2018, after the Cavs moved on from him, and there was a video of him working out in some random gym in Cleveland, where the narrative was Derrick Rose is only not retiring because if he retires, Adidas doesn't have to pay him out the $100-some million they owed him. That was almost conventional wisdom, was that Derrick Rose knows he's done, but he needs to be cut rather than retire, so Adidas still has to pay him. And instead, he kept working. He reinvented himself. He had an amazing Instagram caption the other day where he talks about how early in his basketball life, he lost his queen on the chessboard, so he moved a pawn all the way down the board to get a new queen, how he's reinvented himself. And to me, Wilds, he was the difference and is the singular or the biggest reason why Knicks fans were able to have that celebration last night and why they are back in this series.
Oh, indeed they are. And the relationship between Tibbs and Derrick Rose, too, is just a beautiful thing. That sort of like is the foundation of everything. To watch them work together is beautiful. But, Nick, you've watched a lot of playoff games over the year. Hundreds, maybe thousands if you go back to your childhood. This is the first time in my long memory where the story is actually the atmosphere. Coming off of the bubble, a year where there is no fans, and some people are out there saying, you know what? I don't miss the fans. I just like the basketball. And those people were dead wrong. Brandon, the story was how electric the Garden was and how, and get ready for this, now Nick is going to put his hand through his hair. This is why New York will be able to start attracting free agents. Now that the team is okay, just like how the Nets got okay and the free agents started to go, the Knicks are okay. And next thing you know, all the free agents will start to come to the Mecca. And we know that this show is built on take integrity and whatever LeBron James says. And what did LeBron James say last night? Oh, the Garden is electric. It's a fan. Oh, it's loud.
Yes.
Well, what the heck? That's supposed to be I don't read it like that. It's loud as heck in MSG. That joint is rocking. So now let's go outside of MSG after their first win. Garden faithful going nuts. Brandon, it's my hypothesis that free agents are going to look at this scene and look at how much fun the Garden is and look at how great New York is and say, you know what? I'm putting the Knicks back on my free agent list because let's be honest, the Knicks don't have enough to win it all, but this, and everybody knows it, it's fine, but this is a sign of things to come, Brandon.
You're 100% correct, Wilds. Watching this game, that was the biggest takeaway for me. But on the basketball side, Julius Randle, he was the story. Julius Randle, where were you the first half? You're talking about the most improved player. We need to see that show up moving forward. Now, in the second half, he hit some big shots, 2 big threes to get the team right back where they needed to be. But, man, how do you go from averaging 37 points a game against this team to now you're non-existent? Yep. And then also, you know, it's hard for me to talk about basketball because I don't see either of these teams getting out of the second round. So Wilds is 100% correct. MSG was rocking. And the first thing I could think about was James Dolan. Like, you have to get out the way because we want to see this in the regular season. We want to see this game after game after game. That's what you're going to get in this environment if you bring a contender, if you bring a superstar, the Zions of the world. He loves it. Don't mess this up. You best believe he's watching that game saying, that's where I want to be. That's the environment I want to play in. So that is the biggest takeaway for me, Kevin, was exactly what you brought up. They have to figure this out, man, because MSG should not be a place where LeBron James and Trae Young and other superstars come drop 50, and that is the headline. MSG needs a superstar as its own, for that to be their home, and for them to be dropping 30, 40, 50 points, and that be the storyline.
Oh, don't worry. It's all coming. And can I put everybody on the screen? Because there is one free agent on the show who's going to move to New York and looked around, started picking teams by one Brandon Marshall. And he picked the Nets.
No,
the Nets won 2 playoff games.
Where's my jersey?
I haven't seen any videos. You know, it's nice. They play Biggie in the arena. That's nice. That's great.
No.
But if you want to change, there's plenty of room for you to jump on the Madison Square Garden, New York Knickerbockers bandwagon, and you can leave the front-running Nets, you know, on the sidelines. I'm just putting it out there.
Brandon doesn't. Brandon, it's clear.
Why would I do that?
Go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead, Nick.
Brandon's picked the Nets. That's fine. He's picked the Nets, which is good because the Nets need fans. Because the celebration last night outside the Garden had more energy than a Nets championship parade would. There is more buzz around New York City about the Knicks winning a single playoff game than there will be if the Nets win 16 of them. And by the way, Wilds, when you said a pending free agent, you're saying Zion, people are looking far down the road. Knicks fans, I'm telling you right now, you know who your second favorite team should be? The Dallas Mavericks. They sweep out the Clippers. Just wait and see if Kawhi opens up the options. And if he does,
stop this madness.
Now I don't think Kawhi wants to go west to east.
That is
if he does, the Knicks, to me, are a team that can afford him, that makes sense. They're all of a sudden relevant. And so, you're looking long time down the road. I don't think guys think like that anymore. I think it's where can I be for the next 2 years? Where can I be for the next 3 years? Kawhi went to LeBron City to try to take it from him, failed miserably. So maybe then he'll go to KD's city, try to take it from him. Like, all right, I couldn't get it from the King. Maybe I can get it from Durant. So it's a possibility. I'm just saying. The Knicks fans
don't
should be
get excited. Don't get happy. Jenna, Kawhi is not that guy. Kawhi, he MVP. He's won it twice. He's not going to go chase anything else. He just bought a $20 million home out there in on a beach somewhere in Los Angeles.
He can probably afford another one. He could sell it.
It's fine.
He could sell